Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM22 Dragons. This is episode 36 in what, for me, accounts to yesterday's poll. Your voice has been made clear. Actually, quite a few participating in the poll, so thank you for finding that. Many of you also leaving comments. I did check into those and look to see what was there, and there's a pretty general consensus. Certainly a majority preferring one option over the other two. So with that, we are going to proceed with speeding things up as much as possible with just 2 months to go so that we can get as many seasons in as possible, knowing the longevity factor is such a massive key to this series. That means the quick sim is going to be used a lot more frequently. But that being said, my next handful of races anyway... well, most of them are going to remain on the calendar, and here's how we're going to kind of play that one out. Targets, World Tour targets, Bemer Classics, Bemer Classic, the two Canadian Classics. We're going to pick up all of those late on. Another race that I would have been involved in is the Tour of Britain. We'll go ahead and let that one happen out on paper. Therefore, we're saving 8 stages and 2 episodes, whereas the other 4 we can easily get through in a single episode. Speaking of a single episode, let's go ahead and get on with that racing so we are not wasting time. As we approach the final 20k of the Bemer Classic, Dai is the only guy who was a little bit out of position, out of sorts, and now he's got a chance to recover that with 18k to go. He is the guy today, the main sprinter, not Scheckter, because Scheckter has a -3 and Dai has a +3. Giving him the advantage, but right now we're looking at a peloton of just 41 as it does regain contact here, and we're going to get ourselves back in position. There are 4 riders attacking, which is creating acceleration right as Dai is coming up into place, and with 14.7 I think that is just about close enough, especially with this chase ongoing. We do want to get in position, so Dai is going to follow Scheckter. Scheckter is going to follow Oscar. Even with the +4, Oscar still not better than Scheckter, similar at least though, but Alan, Taraskin, and Chu to lead things off. We'll get those two going. 14.6. We don't need to be pushing crazy hard here early on as we lead this one out. But there was 3 hills. We've gotten through all of those, so we are on our way towards the finish line now with 13k to go. So Chu leading us out with a 93. Has us in position already, and we're in good shape for a potential strong run in. Now 12k. Chu's not going to last too long here, but he's got us inside. He's going to get us inside 10k at least, and Taraskin will take over in just a moment as Chu is done, and he made it just inside that 10k banner onto Taraskin now. We'll continue with that 93 trend. We'll get Alan ready, prepped and ready to go. Al-Adwani was protecting Dai. Dai was the only one who had drifted back just a little bit on the hill. Because of how poor of a climber he is. We put the effort in, but it was actually a rider just ahead of him that created the downfall. Taraskin, 6k to go now, so Alan, take it over. We're going to have to push a bit harder. You can see those guys are pulling ahead, but their attack has failed. Okay, now we're coming down. Whoa, gels for these guys. These two are dud. Get them auto, and Alan, yeah, 97. 4k, 99 around this corner, setting ourselves up for the end. 3.5k. Inside 3k, Oscar will take over. We have plenty of sprint capability. We're getting an early laid out for Deprez, but Bittner going that early. You can see they are fading, not what I was looking for on that one. Scheckter starting his sprint from 1.2. Oscar at the lead. That's Dai getting caught out 700 meters. Scheckter is going to have the better chance here, but can he hang on? No, he cannot. Dai coming through? Are you kidding me? Wow. Everybody else having a similar problem. They didn't have the lead outs. They had to go a little bit earlier, but with a double lead out, everyone, including Scheckter, fades at the end. He faded just a little bit before them. They just overtake him, and then they fade, and here comes Dai, who waited till the right time. Red bar wise, you can see just a sliver left of it. That was perfectly timed. Didn't look like it, but it was perfectly timed, and Wang Huai Dai, the Taiwanese rider, has come away with a win, and that's a huge one. Could that be an instant popularity boost for Taiwan? Could be. And yes, it is, folks. We have done it. Dai, Huang Huai Dai of Taiwan. 2-point boost for Taiwan. From a 3 to a 5. Hell yeah. The team set to go to the Bemer Classic have absurdly low motivation, low fitness levels, too much racing. I'm just going to go ahead and quick sim this one and save us the trouble of, seeing a difficult race. So we're into September, just checking on what's left on the market as we hold 25th still in the index. We've been there for a matter of weeks already. There's a single 5.5-star rider left. There is page and a half, almost 2 pages worth of 5-star talents still. So there are still quite a few riders out there that can boost a squad, especially, this top end group, as, they sign could make a difference. But from 25th position, the cutoff is 35th for Continental Pro. So it is close. It is tight. I mean, you look at Sun God. They are almost level with us. That is how close this field is. It is very, very tight. You can see from just above us, it starts to become more than 4 stars. So we are at it seemingly at an exact full 4th star. You're up to a 4.5 by the time you get to Global 6 cycling in 9th position. But under 4.25 seems to be from about Bike Exchange and below, 12th and below. That it's somewhere right around our position where you no longer see that 4th star. I think Equipo, Kern, Pharma just ahead of us. You can see just the tiniest sliver of more than that 4th star. But seeing a full 4th star seems apparent all the way down to somewhere around 34th or 35th place. So it's absurdly close, and it's definitely not done yet with that many available 5-star talents. Brandon No's new home for next year is Israel Premier Tech, so that's a great place for him to go, and hopefully he can steal a result somewhere, somehow, to help boost his home nation of South Korea. Final stage of the Tour of Britain was a 8.8 kilometer short time trial. Lieberman has claimed the stage. I doubt that that's going to be enough to boost things for Israel, but we'll see if it does. In terms of the overall standings, Lieberman was too far out of it for it to matter. Yamamoto moved from 20th up to 14th on that final stage. Scheckter had a couple podiums on the numerous sprint stages. The one punchy stage, he lost the time to put him out of contention. But with just a couple of podiums, he didn't really feature in a competitive way anyway, and didn't manage 20 stages. But let's see if Lieberman's win gets him anything. No bonus for Lieberman's win. I think Israel's high enough now that it's going to take more than an individual stage. It's going to take an overall, or it's going to take a monument victory to boost Israel at this point, other than on the training side of things, where that cumulative impact of a good season could certainly still be felt. For now, a week later, we've dropped to 26th, but we're still holding firm in our safety of Continental Pro. But we have a big break coming that's going to see us just about right to the end of the signing period. And that will really shape up how we're doing over the coming weeks, where we have quite a bit of time till that next race. So let's see where we wind up. I'm guessing we're safe. Lieberman's victory may not have come with a boost in popularity in Israel, but it did come with a boost in the level of Lieberman. The XP gain from that was enough to push him to his next level, which brought him up to 5.5 stars now. So he was our number 2 guy. He's now our number 1 guy. He has overtaken Scheckter as the best rider, so it's actually a good thing that we re-signed him over Scheckter in all reality, and we're looking at somebody who's pretty dang good and not done yet he still has about 1 point left, maybe 2 points left of mountain available to him, and a few points left in hills as well. And he's in 80 mountain, the first we've ever had. Recovery is also at 80, so he's pretty dang good for surviving GC races, though he will not do terribly well in them. He could probably get some top 10s. He could probably compete for a King of the Mountains, and for that, that's a good start. Of course, getting into a Grand Tour is a totally different matter. Getting into a stage race at World Tour is a totally different matter, and right now we're looking at potentially a second straight season of Classics invites, as I believe we are second in the Super Prestige regarding Continental Pro rankings. But thanks to that level up, our index has pushed up to 23rd overall. We are now quite secure in Continental Pro for the coming season. It's also late September, so I'm guessing there's not too many openings left. A single 5-star rider remains Clement Sanchez, who's a sprinter and just barely 5 stars. So he's the only one that remains on the market. And so, yes, in fact, we are safe for the coming season. In fact, we are much closer to promotion to World Tour than we are to going the other way. And Lieberman signed up for multi-years, means we've got at least one 5.5-star guy for a few years coming. Of course, Scheckter is outgoing, but we've got some good options otherwise. With multiple 5-star guys that I think we could have another 1 or 2 by next season. If we can get up to 3 5.5-star guys, I don't see why we wouldn't make World Tour. It is possible. I've just about reached the end of the season, but not quite. Il Lombardia is still ahead of us, and it's a major race, and we're going to do our best with Il Lombardia because it could be incredibly valuable in terms of points, and of course in terms of any victory, as it is the final monument of the season. Our team for this one is actually up for it, 95 to 99% for each and every one of them, but of course we're not going to be anywhere near the favorites list. So we are going to be an underdog, but if there's any race that I've been able to pull off victories in the past, it has been Il Lombardia. I just don't feel like this is the team that's going to do it, but I would hope we could squeeze out a top 10 and get some really solid points for one of our riders for their end of season tally. Beyond that, the final World Tour race of the year is the Tour of Guangxi, and then of course we still have the Japan Cup. I'm not going to race the Tour of Guangxi personally, but I probably will pick up with the Japan Cup and Il Lombardia for our next episode, which will bring us right on into the new season. I will not do a long recap. We'll do a quick recap, but maybe, just maybe, we'll get involved in the draft of this year's team, which I'm going to be down to a team of 9 for next season from a team of 10. And theoretically, at least on paper, it's going to save us a good 7,000 or 8,000 on our total cost of 20k. So if it's bringing us down to 13-14k from 20 just by eliminating one rider, that's going to be a worthy move. And if it does work out, well, it's going to be important because if you remember, we're stretching that budget for next season. We have fallen one further spot. We are down to 24th in the index, but 24th is a pretty dang healthy place to be. Lieberman, that 5.5-star guy with Scheckter outgoing. Those both are Israeli guys, and the Israeli group start of this is a 2-4, and it's still a 2-4. So despite the wins that they have picked up, stage wins here and there, not the final standings, but the numerous victories between the two have not amounted to any bonuses as of right now. you feel like training wise, one of those two, with all the points they've been accumulating, should be pushing Israel up to a 3 for the start of next season, if not better. Could they both provide a boost? Would they both do enough to make it up to a 4 and see a double? I doubt it, but wouldn't that be something if that were the case? We won't bother with the individual rankings until next time. We still have that week or so to go. We want to see where they are. But we are the highest rated Continental Pro team in the World Tour rankings. You got the top 14 and then a big old gap. And we have over 3,000, but of course we had all those classic races. But those don't have all the points. And the bigger ones of those, we weren't really scoring hardly any points. It was the minor ones where we picked them up. So actually, compared to Trek and Israel Premier Tech and Intermarché, that's good. We did do well. Now, Continental rankings, we got hammered. But the Super Prestige is what matters. And actually, we have a really close contest for that second freebie for next year, depending on where those World Tour rankings are at, actually, or the divisional rankings are at, that is. Israel Premier Tech are on top. We are the second best of the Continental Pro teams, just 100 points, 150 points ahead of Intermarché. Even Drone Hoppers still have a slight chance. A big victory for either one of those two at, say, Il Lombardia would certainly be enough points to jump over us at that point. Wow. We're looking at big changes for next year. Trek, ATT, Equipo, Kern Pharma, Intermarché, all going up to World Tour. But that does not include Israel Premier Tech. Right now you have Astana going down. That's devastating for them to be right on the edge like that. Bahrain victorious. This could mean we don't get those automatics. Israel Premier Tech is slated for Continental Pro, and you've got some World Tour teams that are coming down. I don't know what the automatic ones are going to be, but there's a pretty good chance that it would be like, say, Astana, Bahrain victorious, and Israel Premier Tech. The three of them get automatics and we get left out. Very well could happen. Second year Continental Pro, though, I would expect we're going to get a better calendar for Continental Pro. Our rating, our prestige should go up. Recognition should go up. We should be able to get into some more 2HC races come next year. But yeah, it's possible we won't have the World Tour races at all other than one or two sponsor ones. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.